doing like top winners of all time or something. That was not very.
Yeah, I went to bed early last night. I was excited about the opportunity to fish today, and usually when you're like that, it's kind of hard to sleep.
Hard to sleep, for sure. Knowing what was on the line, knowing it was a rare opportunity. Usually when it comes bedtime, I'm out pretty quick, but this time was different.
Ready to go, man.
My Achilles heel has always been that sudden death round, and finally to sit here and know that I qualified. I wake up this morning, I'm jacked up, ready to go. It's championship round.
All week, the anglers have been lodging at Lake Point State Park, only minutes away from Lake Eufaula's popular Cowicky Creek boat ramp. But they have yet to launch their boats there.
You know, they told us last night to be at the trucks at 5:30 this morning. And I'm thinking, you know, if we're gonna put in here, it's 2 minutes away. There's no way we're gonna load up at 5:30 and go 2 minutes. I'm thinking, you know, we're 30, 45 minutes away like we've been every morning.
I'm fully expecting to go somewhere none of us has heard of, none of us has ever been to. And I've got to be open and try to make the adjustments to still win.
Well, we're here. They really threw us for a loop on that one, but that's Major League Fishing for you. The commissioners, I think, get a kick out of playing the mind games on the anglers like they do. They got us this morning.
This is it? We're right here?
This is the place.
Oh my gosh. If I had to pick the place to start championship round, this is it.
Okay. So there you go.
No past the middle on the marinas. That's all it is right here, right?
Yeah.
Randy comes over, and it's Cowicky Creek. That creek is well known on Lake Eufaula. It's a place it's probably one of the best creeks on the lake.
We get handed the map of the zone, and I realized that the zone was really small.
Sudden death round. When they put this creek off limits, it's kind of a pretty good guess that this was where championship round was going to be. I think kind of everybody anticipated this. It was much smaller than the previous 2 rounds that we fished. I mean, it probably wasn't a third of the size.
You know, we get to the ramp and we put in, and Cowicky Creek is probably the biggest tributary on Lake Eufaula.
All right, Aaron, how are you feeling? What's your thoughts?
I'm excited, man. I'm excited, bro.
We get in and we look around, and I see there's pads everywhere. There's some hydrilla.
Boats in the water, looking for 2 things. I'm looking for shad on riprap, and I'm looking for hydrilla, primarily hydrilla. If I can get around hydrilla, I'm good.
The one thing that I was concerned about was I didn't know how much of the stuff that I'd fished the previous 2 rounds was going to be around this area. So I see a place with some lily pads, a transition between lily pads and a hydrilla flat, and I just felt like that where the channel butts up really close to it. I said, that's the place I want to start at. First thing I do is I pick up a walking bait. You know, something more translucent so they couldn't get a good look at it, but the real key was a feather, because the bait was so small, I had to use a topwater. It made a lot of commotion, like a pencil popper and stuff like that. Get in here. Heck yeah. Get over here, you big sucker. Come on, get it. Big right there. Get your butt over here. Every single cast almost, it seemed like I had a fish blow up on it or get it. The wind was blowing, things were perfect, it was cloud covered, it was perfect conditions. Perfect conditions. Yeah, buddy. All of a sudden, 30 minutes in, I have a really, I think I have 14, 15 pounds. Oh, where do I start? Show yourselves.
The spot I started on was about 400 or 500 yards from the glory spot that one of the guys smashed him on. I went ahead and went down about 400 or 500 yards below Wheeler, and there was a little, like a flat, and everything was just jumping. It was real active, so I decided to start there. and I got bit pretty quick. It's close, that's keeper. I thought it was a little, the limbs, take them off of the water, that's keep. And I proceeded to catch like 4 stripers, and they were big stripers, they were like, you know, 5, 6, 7 pounders. They took a lot of my time, because just getting them off the hook and fighting them, and they, you know, they peel drag, and they pull hard. It takes a long time to get in. You can't just break them off. I want my crankbait back. I can't grab these stupid fish. I kept hearing updates on Wheeler, and I'm fighting stripers.
Jacob Wheeler just caught his 7th fish, 2 pounds, 5 ounces. He now leads with 12 pounds, 12 ounces.
In the first 20 minutes, Wheeler just starts hammering on us, and all the guys that I can see fishing the riprap, none of us are catching anything, and that forced me to change my game plan.
All right, guys. We're gonna make a move right now.
I pulled the plug on that deal and went to the hydrilla deal. We're running a channel swing up near the shore, but from what I could tell on my Lowrance unit, it was clear water.
Oh! There's a lot of stumps out here.
Yeah.
Smashed a log or a big gator, I'm not quite sure. We kept going, but the motor started acting up. Was able to fish, but I ended up having to swap boats. It was kind of funny because I jumped in the other boat.
I got one gun. One gun, baby.
I jumped into that boat with 1 rod and a pack of baits. I felt like Rambo out there. One weapon, a box of bullets, and let's get it done.
Well, you gotta have me.
Oh, shoot. I thought you were in here. Larry, get the hell out of here.
So I pull up to the first place of hydrilla that I felt good about. I start flipping along, punching down through, and immediately snatched up a 4-pounder out of there.
Boom, baby. How about that?
To me, it wasn't so much that I was excited that I caught a 4-pounder. It was just the fact that this is going to go down today. Stick to your guns, and this is going to work out by the end of the day. Down that stretch, I was able to get a few more bites and catch a few more keeper fish, squirrel bass. And I told my cameraman at that point and boat official, I said, this is the stretch that I need to be on when those fish start to bite in the 3rd period.
You know, obviously I found a good stretch, so they'll bite better later than they are now.
I started on this little grass point there and throwing the strike king caffeine shad, just jerking and pausing it around the grass, and I caught 1 keeper, and then boom, I catch like a 4 something, and I'm really excited at that point. Gosh. To see that kind of quality there, and it gave me a lot of confidence in the area, and it also gave me a lot of confidence in the bait that I was using. One of the things that kind of was concerning to me was that Jacob had got off to such a good start in the first round that he was going to be tough to catch.
You know, I caught him good. I'm like, yeah, you know, what about that? So I'm sitting there and I'm fishing back and forth on this grass edge of the hydrilla, not getting a bite. About middle of the period, I see some activity in the pads, and all of a sudden that activity goes from blowing up a little bit to, I'm talking straight up 4 and 5 pounders eating basketball-sized pads, blowing up on this tiny bait.
Dude, I'm fishing like they're eating pads for freaking lunch.
Gosh. I'm like, what in the heck? This is the deal. But the problem is, what do you throw in there that's that size? I can't throw that walking bait in there. About 6 months ago, I was sitting fishing a pond, messing around. I look over on the side of the bank, and there was a frog sitting there. And I'm like, oh, that's cool, you know, a plastic frog. I pick it up, super small, tiny little frog. I'm like, yeah, that'd be cool. Washed it off, threw it in my box. What do? I tie that sucker on, rip the legs out of it to make it even smaller. I throw it out there in like about my 5th cast. Whoosh!
Come on, please be on there, buddy.
I set the hook, and it pulls me down. I pull back, and it pulls me down again. And that's a telltale sign that's a really good fish.
Merry Christmas.
412, boat flip him, grab him.
Oh, I knew there were big ones blowing up in there, but dang, son, what about them apples?
End of the period, I'm up by a pretty good little margin there, and I'm feeling good. I mean, my confidence is sky high.